Alright Pistons fans, so in today's video we are going to be talking about trade scenarios again in this upcoming draft. Now apparently, according to multiple reports, there are multiple teams interested in trading up for the first overall pick with the Detroit Pistons, and the team specifically, I'm going to read them off here. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers, the OKC Thunder, the Houston Rockets, and the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'm going to talk about each team and each deal that they have to offer. And then I'm going to end it off by basically saying none of these teams have anything to offer me, because honestly these teams don't have enough to offer for the first overall pick. Now let's get into this. First and foremost, the Cleveland Cavaliers, apparently they're willing to offer Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, and Colin Sexton, and they're picking a draft. And my thing about it is, Cleveland, they have some solid players, some solid young talent. Colin Sexton, really do love him. Darius Garland, he's a bit on the smaller side in terms of a point guard, but he does have some game and ability to him. And Isaac Okoro, he has two-way ability to him. All nice and fine young players, but for the first overall pick, Cade Cunningham or Jalen Green, these are dudes who can become franchise players and have high potential. So if we're trading the first overall pick, I need a superstar in return. And honestly, Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, Darius Garland, and their pick, nice assets, but just not enough for the first overall pick, in my opinion. I would love to get these dudes somehow in another trade scenario where we don't have to give up the first overall pick, but giving up the first overall pick for someone like Darius Garland and Isaac Okoro and their pick and Colin Sexton, no offense, but I'm just not a fan of that. The next team, we have the OKC Thunder. The reports are that they're willing to give up someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and their pick and other young talented players on the roster. And again, similar to the Cleveland Cavaliers, nice solid young players, but just not enough for the first overall pick. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, him playing with Killian Hayes, that would be really cool to see. But am I willing to give up Cade Cunningham for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Absolutely not. So the Thunder, out of all the teams on this list, honestly, the Thunder probably have the least amount, well, the second least amount, because the Houston, I feel like they have the least amount to offer. But the Thunder don't really got much to offer in terms of trading for the first overall pick. So the Thunder, I also say no to them. Now let's talk about the Houston Rockets. Now this is the team who I feel like have the least amount to add. Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood and their pick. No offense, but that is nowhere, and I mean nowhere near enough for the first overall pick. They're basically adding you Christian Wood, solid player. We had him on the Pistons, but Christian Wood is not someone I would be interested in bringing back, especially with us having Isaiah Stewart and possibly drafting another center in the second round. I'm not interested in bringing back Christian Wood. And Kevin Porter Jr., I wish we would have drafted him. We could have drafted him, but we traded for 4 second-round picks. No, it would have been really nice to add him. I feel like Kevin Porter Jr., he could be a really solid offensive scorer in the future in the NBA. But just those two guys in their pick, that is the least amount of value on this list. So in my opinion, that is another one where I say no to. And finally, the New Orleans Pelicans, I guess you could try to make the case that they have the most to offer. But what would the Pelicans be willing to give up? Would they be willing to give up Zion? Would they be willing to give up Brandon Ingram? Or are they trying to give up Lonzo Ball or Josh Hart or Jackson Hayes? I really do like Jackson Hayes. He could really be something in the NBA, especially towards the end of the season. Jackson Hayes, with the athleticism and scoring ability, he showed me something towards the end of the season. But the players that I want from the Pelicans, they're not giving up Zion and they're not giving up BI. And if they're not giving up those two, I don't want any other players on their roster. So if you ain't giving me Zion, if you ain't giving me Ingram, don't even call me. And even if they were to offer Zion and Brandon Ingram, would the Pistons accept that? I think they would consider it, but I still don't know if they would accept Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. I would consider that deal, but still, for the first overall pick, it would be a big question for me. So I'm going to wrap this video up now, man. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Houston Rockets, the OKC Thunder, the New Orleans Pelicans, all interested in trading up for the first overall pick. And honestly, in my opinion, these teams have nothing really to offer. Yes, you do have some solid players here and there, some players who have been all-stars before, some players who could be future all-stars. But if you're not giving me a Giannis, if you're not giving me a Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, I don't even really want to consider the first overall pick. Because I feel like someone like Cade Cunningham or Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, he has the full package for the most part. I feel like he can be your franchise player. Jalen Green, he can lead the league in scoring for multiple years. So I wouldn't want, Jalen Green looking at, going from someone like Jalen Green, Alonzo Ball, or Jalen Green and Darius Garland. Honestly, I just don't think that these teams who are trying to trade up, they just don't have enough for me. If it's not the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker, if it's not Giannis, if it's not Anthony Davis, I wouldn't even consider the deals, to be honest. So Pistons fans, let me know how y'all feel about these possible trade up offers, all these teams interested in the first overall pick. In my opinion, if they offering things like this, just Trevor, hang up your phone and take Cade Cunningham, honestly. Cade Cunningham, he's the guy with the young roster that we have. Just bring in Cade Cunningham. Don't overthink it and just take the darn pick. So Pistons fans, let me know how y'all feel in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 2K, and I'm out.